I draw live caricatures at parties and events. It is the most fun and rewarding style of art that I have ever done. I also teach people like you my method for drawing live caricatures. And in this video, I am going to draw one particular YouTube subscriber who filled out a form on my website. This one was somewhat of a challenge because I had to do something that was outside of my comfort zone. So let's get into it. Okay, so if this person sat down in front of me at a live event and I was going to draw him in my live event style, the first thing I'm going to do before anything is I'm just going to think. I'm going to look at his face and let's see the relationships between the shapes of the elements of his face. So first thing I'm noticing is that the largest thing that I see that jumps out at me is his hair. That is the largest part of his head. Then it comes down to a point. The smallest part would probably be his chin. I see small ears, and I think that's enough to get started. So my quick method is to do a little silhouette, and that is the shape that I just imagined. And I want to kind of emphasize and exaggerate a little bit, but not too much. There's that small ear I was talking about, and then the chin. And this is going to be a kind of a challenge for me because I usually draw people looking to my left. Because I'm right-handed, I sit them over there and they're automatically looking slightly that way, and I've drawn thousands and thousands of people that way. And so that's the easiest way for me to draw. But I don't want to always stay in my comfort zone. I've got to every once in a while draw something that I'm not used to drawing. So this is not going to be like the most awesome caricature ever drawn because I've got no sketch whatsoever. But that's the thing about a live caricature. It's like entertainment. And the value is that everybody is getting a cool souvenir. But another part of the value is you're drawing. I draw about an average of at least about 15 people per hour. And so you can't slow down. If you was to, do an amazing super masterpiece and it takes you 30 minutes and then you only get 2 people drawn per hour, and I don't think many people are going to want to pay you to draw 2 people per hour. So the more people you can draw, the better, but you still want to do great drawing. So basically it's the best drawing you can possibly do in 4 or 5 minutes. And that's why I practice. When I'm at home, I try to practice drawing caricatures as much as possible. And I also break it up and try to practice drawing each of the little different elements of drawing caricatures, so that when I'm in a live event, I can do a better job, if that makes sense. In other words, like you do a lot of practicing. You can practice for speed, but I like practicing for quality. And then the quality is coming a lot easier whenever it's time to draw fast. I feel like if you just practice on how to draw fast, you're going to get great at drawing fast, but the quality is going to go downhill. I could be wrong, but I've seen a lot of artists who are incredibly fast. But not that great quality. But then again, there are people who have great quality drawings and they're fast. So it's not an either-or situation. You can be a fantastic artist and draw fast at the same time. And you can probably see how I'm messing up, or maybe you can't because I have zoomed in a little bit, but I drew his facial features, I think, too far that way. that's what happens when you don't have a sketch and you're drawing the opposite angle from what you're used to drawing. But I had a teacher one time who told me the more mistakes you make, the more you learn. And that's true. If you nail it, if you hit a home run every single time, you're not really learning much. You've already mastered it. And if you make a mistake, that's not a reason to be angry at yourself and down on yourself. In fact, making a mistake, making a lot of mistakes, is proof that you are learning. Okay, let's see how I'm going to do this. I'm going to come back and draw the beard on top of that. Here's something I'm looking at. I'm looking at an invisible line from the corner of his mustache to his jaw. I'm trying to find the right angle on that. Then I'll know where to change the angle when I'm drawing the jawline. So it's somewhere around in that area. Alright, let's see what I can do here. This is not so bad. I'm starting to get excited. I'm like, I'm drawing from the opposite angle, and it's not so bad. It's definitely not a masterpiece. And it's, to be honest, not even a real caricature. You see, a caricature is exaggeration, like a likeness or a portrait with the volume turned up. But this is more like a stylized portrait, which can work, you know, at a live event, because believe it or not, I go to a lot of live events and I draw people and they see how I'm drawing. And this is not to brag, this is just to show you people's attitude. So basically they'll say, I saw how you were drawing people more like portraits, and I had to get one because I was drawing a long time ago at this theme park or that theme park, and they exaggerated me so crazy, they said that I hated it. So I had a lot of people tell me that the crazy exaggerations, that they absolutely hated it and threw it away. But when they saw the style that I was drawing, this is something they wanted to keep and frame. So I don't know if they were just telling me that to make me feel good, or if they were serious about it. But this is more or less, so, you know, it's a style choice. I like drawing either way. I like the exaggerated caricatures and the stylized portraits. So you don't have to love the one and hate the other. Okay, so that looks pretty cool, but because he has dark hair, I'm going to end, because we got plenty of time, I'm going to go ahead and fill in his hair. So normally if I was at an event, I'd take the paper down and show it to him and it'd be done. But because we're drawing in my sketchbook, let's fill it in. So this is it. I'm thinking of all of this as one shape. This is a little wild hair coming out, but this right here is one shape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the marker and I'm going to start here on this end of the shape and pull the strokes across. And as I pull them, it's coming up. So it's going to be darker here and then fade out. And then I'm going to start on this end of the shape and do the same thing. And hopefully it will look like dark hair. Okay, here we go. And you see how I'm using my wrist and my arm as much as possible. I'm kind of anchoring my hand right here, and so it's like almost mechanical. Because I'm afraid if I'm up here floating, that it'll be real shaky. And I don't want it to be shaky. I want it to be as perfect as possible. Now this side of the shape. Same thing. Now this is another shape. Thinking of it as a separate shape, so I'm going to color starting from here and pulling up and around and then back down from the top. And now around from the outside. And see that part that I missed? That ends up being like a little highlight. And then we can even fill all that in. Break that up a little bit. Okay, so not too bad. Before I end this video, I just want to let you know, if you click the link in the description on my website, I have this forum called Draw Me on YouTube. And that's how this guy got drawn, and maybe you can get drawn too. So please click the link, and you might see a video one day where I'm drawing your face.